Hello, I hope you're well. Today I wanted to discuss why it's important that we learn to be more in the here and now, to focus more on the present moment. I recently came across a video by a psychotherapist who was using an hourglass to illustrate this point. And basically, she was saying, imagine the top half of the hourglass is our past, the bottom half is our future. And we're usually thinking about the sand in the top half, so regretting our past choices, feeling sad about what has happened to us. Or otherwise, we're feeling anxious and stressed out about the sand in the bottom half, about what might happen in the future. But what we should be doing is focusing on the sand in the little space in between the bottom and the top half, the present moment. Because that's how we can find more peace and also more joy in our lives. I know I had come across many other similar videos, but I know that for me, this is always a very timely and useful reminder, because I do spend a lot of time either bemoaning my past choices, feeling sad, or worrying about what might happen, and we actually don't know what's going to happen. So a lot of times we worry for no good reason at all. So shortly after watching that video, I went for a walk in the forest. And I always enjoy spending time in nature. Nature is such a gift. But a lot of times I am also distracted thinking about what I should be doing after the walk, or wondering whether what I did before the walk was a good choice, But that day I just, really took my time to fully immerse myself in the experience. And I noticed the mushrooms growing on the trees, the moss and the rocks, the birds chirping. And I just felt so at peace and so happy. Or on Sunday I did some meal prepping for the week. And learning how to cook is quite a steep learning curve for me, because I never learned growing up. We didn't really cook much in my family, and then there were the eating disorders, so I didn't want to spend any time in the kitchen. And now, I want to learn how to cook because it's good for my recovery, because it's part of adulting. It's a useful skill to have in your life. And I really do want to do it, but it's not easy. So every time I say to myself, oh, let's go and do some cooking, I kind of see it like a bit of a chore. So I distract myself maybe by watching a movie or listening to a podcast while I'm doing it. But after watching that video, I was like, let's try doing this another way. And no iPad, no podcast, just me, ChatGPT, and the ingredients I had bought. And I actually found the experience pleasurable then. I was really able to appreciate how, I have access to good quality ingredients. ChatGPT is awesome at helping me figure out all the different steps and how to combine whatever it is I have in the house to make something nutritious and delicious. And I realized, why was I dreading this experience so much? If I learn to really be in the here and now, a lot of times, things are better than what we think we are. And then, of course, we have our daily lives where we have to go to work, deal with family, or deal with whatever other problem we may have. We can't always just take off and go for a walk in the woods, or spend 2 hours in the kitchen meal prepping to find some mindfulness. But there are 2 ways I usually am able to carve out just 1 or 2 minutes to bring myself back into the here and now. The first one is breathing. Everybody talks about the importance of deep breathing, right? But it's because it works. It's true. One thing I found easy and helpful is box breathing. So breathe in for the count of 4, or however long you want to breathe in for. Hold your breath for the count of 4, breathe out for a count of 4, and again hold your breath for a count of 4. Do that for a few rounds, and let me know if afterwards you don't feel, at the very least, calmer and better able to tackle the rest of your day. And the other thing I do that I find super helpful is setting a morning intention. In one of my recent videos I talked about the Maui habit. I'll leave the video somewhere on the screen if I can manage that. And basically it's my version of the Maui habit, and it's waking up in the morning and saying to myself out loud, I'm gonna make this a good day no matter what. And that already puts me in a different mindset. It's like, yeah, I may encounter some issues, some obstacles, things I have to do that I don't really want to do. But if I have this positive mindset, I'll do all of that in a different way. And everything will seem better rather than focusing on the negative. And how do I make myself focus on the present moment? By remembering that intention throughout the day. So every now and then I'll ask myself, do I have that energy? Do I still have that energy, the positive mindset? Or otherwise, if I'm setting a different intention in the morning, like if I know I am going to meet with a friend, it's going to that I haven't seen in quite some time, the intention is going to be, oh, I really want to make my friend feel appreciated and know that I enjoy spending time with them, and I wish we could do it more often. Or if I am going to go see someone with whom relationships aren't always easy, I'm like, how can today I want to really listen to what the other person has to say, and maybe we can find some common ground, more than we usually do, and so on. This is something I learned to do thanks to my yoga practice. Sometimes teachers would ask us to set an intention at the beginning of the practice, to really think about what it is that we want to get out of the practice, set the intention, and then reflect at the end of the practice if we've been true to it. And I started applying this to my everyday life, and the morning is the perfect time to do it. And I realized then that at the end of the day I would ask myself, did that work? Was I true to my intention? So yeah, that's another easy way, at least for me, to really learn to find more peace and joy by being more present throughout the day. And there are some other advantages as well. I've been taking the course on Coursera, The Science of Well-Being, which is taught by a Yale professor. And one of the things they talk about is savoring. And savoring is really enjoying what you're doing, really finding pleasure in what you're doing. And you can also find savoring in remembering past joyful experiences. And that totally validated a thing that I often do, which is look at old pictures and think back at, oh, that was a lovely meal, or oh, that was a lovely trip, or how nice it was to go and have this experience with whatever person I had the experience with. And yeah, that's another thing. You'll be happier if you learn to be in the present moment, because you'll savor it. You'll find so much more pleasure and really happiness. They did some studies on this. And finally, one huge benefit I got out of learning to be more present is that I used to be a very impulsive person, or rather a very reactive person. Whatever happened to me, I tended to feel overwhelmed and to immediately react impulsively. And now I'm learning, to pause, to think about what's going on, and then to choose how to respond. Actually, these past few months, like last fall, with all that has been going on with my mom and my brother, I found myself going back to a more reactive mode, and I wasn't very proud of that. But at least I realized that, and now I'm working to going back, taking my time to think about what's going on and pausing, assessing how I'm feeling, what I want to do, and then respond. So yeah, being more mindful absolutely helped me a ton with that. So this is what I had to say today. Let me know what you think about it. Are you good at being in the here and now? Are you good at focusing on the present moment, or do you tend to go revisit the past too often or feel anxious about the future? And what are your strategies to deal with this? So in the meantime, I wish you a lovely rest of your day. I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Ciao, ciao. Bye.